Very good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the current affairs class. I hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to cover 19th March CA and the top 5 questions. Let's begin with the class. The first segment, ESI Finance and Business News. We have some really important news today, so pay attention. Okay, just a second. This news is regarding cabinet approval for incentive scheme for the promotion of low value Bhim UPI transactions. Now cabinet wants जो Bhim UPI transactions हैं, you know already that the volume and the value is increasing day by day, but they want low volume transactions. जो low volume transactions हैं, the ticket size is less, the amount is less, उनको incentivize करना चाह रहे हैं. That's why they have brought in some schemes, right? So some incentives have been announced to promote these. That's the news. First thing, if you see, government has approved an incentive scheme for the promotion of low value Bhim UPI transactions. And for this, entire outlay has been allocated up to 1500 crore rupees. Now you see, what you need to remember from here is UPI person to merchant जो आपका payment होता है transactions up to ₹2000 for small merchants are covered under the scheme. So this amount is important, 2000 rupees. Low transactions की जब हम बात कर रहे हैं, when we are talking about low value transactions, so what do we exactly mean by the low value transactions? Low value transactions here mean up to 2000, not above that. Okay, up to ₹2000. What are the incentives? So basically, first one, up to ₹2000 small merchant के लिए zero MDR and incentive at the rate 0.15%. What is MDR? MDR is merchant discount rate. So first of all, you need to remember what is merchant discount rate. Merchant discount rate basically is a fees. Fees होती है जो merchant pay करता है to bank और payment service provider for processing the digital payment transaction. कोई भी merchant है ना, वो आपका transaction process करता है, उसके लिए it has to pay a fees to the bank, respective bank, जिसके लिए भी कर रहा है process transaction, or the payment service provider, right? So this is the fees. Now fees अगर चली जाएगी तो merchant का margin भी कम रहता है, right? So what they have introduced is up to 2000 rupees के transaction तक zero MDR, no MDR. That means no fees, no merchant discount rate. So it would incentivize merchants to process such transactions more, which are up to 2000 rupees. Yes or no? Right? And incentive of 0.15%. 0.15%. Now what is this? This would be कि आपने जो भी process किया है amount, उसका 0.15% would be an incentive. So like you will get a cashback or you will get this amount, right, as an incentive. So definitely it is going to incentivize low value transactions up to ₹2000. This is how it is going to work. And then large merchant zero MDR, no incentive. Small merchant के लिए zero MDR plus incentive है. Large merchant के लिए MDR नहीं है, but incentive zero, MDR zero है but incentive नहीं है. Then over ₹2000, zero MDR, no incentive, and here again zero MDR, no incentive. So you see, MDR तो किसी पर भी नहीं है, but incentive is being provided on the amount up to ₹2000. This is something important. Remember that. 0.15%. Also remember, for all the quarters of the scheme, 80% of the admitted claim amount by the acquiring banks will be disbursed without any condition. अब 0.15% की हमने बात की, right? 0.15. 0.15% of the payment you have processed. Suppose आपने 1000 process किया तो उसका 0.15%, right? जो claim आपने किया, that this is the incentive which we claim as a merchant, उस total amount का 80% remember would be paid without any condition, very quickly, है ना, in a very seamless process, no conditions. But the remaining 20% of the incentive, if you want to get, there are certain conditions applied which you need to remember. First, first you have to fulfill as a merchant these conditions. First thing is 10% of the admitted claim will be provided only when the technical decline of the acquiring bank will be less than 0.75%. That means जो भी technically जब आपके payment decline होते हैं, इस type के जो भी glitches होते हैं, if the bank it is less than 0.75%. So this is also promoting, you know, more faster kind transactions and less technical glitches. So remember this thing. Second, remaining 10% जो है 80% के अलावा of the admitted claim will be provided only when the system uptime of the acquiring bank will be greater than 99.5%. जो system uptime होता है वो 99.5% से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए. So these are the conditions, remember, and overall target you see is achieving 20,000 crore total transactions volume in 24-25. This is the thing. I hope you have got the news, everyone. Yes or no? तो 2000 आपको ध्यान रखना है, 0.15% याद रखना है. आउट ऑफ दैट 80% विदाउट कंडीशन, 20% की दो कंडीशंस है which we have discussed. Then there is something statutory which can also be relevant. So you see RBI or NPCI both have set out guidelines regarding merchant discount rate. So according to RBI, the merchant discount rate up to 0.9% of the transaction value is applicable across all card networks. Okay, जितने भी आपके डेबिट कार्ड्स वगैरह होते हैं, so जितने भी कार्ड नेटवर्क्स हैं, because कार्ड नेटवर्क्स में भी मर्चेंट्स प्रोसेस करते हैं ट्रांजेक्शन, तो उसमें MDR है up to 0.9%. But NPCI also proposes it. So NPCI proposes MDR up to 0.3% of the transaction value for UPI P2M transactions. जो UPI person to merchant transactions होते हैं उसमें NPCI MDR लगाता है which is 0.3%. And remember, since January 2020 to promote digital transactions, MDR was made 0 for RuPay debit cards and Bheem UPI transactions. That's why you see चाहे small merchant हो or large merchant, in both the cases you had MDR is equals to 0 to promote UPI. That's why this is one of the reason UPI is gaining lot of prominence nowadays, right? So RuPay debit card as well as UPI transactions में no MDR, remember that. This one is very very important. UPI से related जो भी news है very important, right? So please revise it certain number of times. The next one is recently you see we have discussed unified pension scheme which is to be operational from 1st April. So central government has said that an eligible central government employee will have time to apply for this till 30th June 2025 to join the unified pension scheme. So remember, it is going to be operational from 1st April 2025. Then Axis Bank recently has introduced revisions to the terms and benefits of Axis Bank Vistara credit card. So changes are going to be effective from April. This is not so much significant. You can skip this one. Regulatory bodies news पर आते हैं. So we have RBI recently informing that the bilateral transactions of India and Maldives may also be settled in INR or MVR, the Maldivian currency, right? In addition to the Asian Clearing Union mechanism. So this is going to be important. RBI कल हमने Mauritius के साथ देखा था, आज Maldives है, right? So Maldives के साथ we are going to settle the bilateral transactions in domestic currencies. Now, what is this Asian Clearing Union? Asian Clearing Union जो है, it was founded on 9 December 1974. It has central banks, monetary authorities of 10 countries like Bangladesh, Belarus, Bhutan, India, Iran, Maldives, Myanmar, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. ये क्या करती है? It facilitates transactions in domestic currency. So you don't require dollar. So it is easier to do the trade, it is easier to do the bilateral trade and transactions, right? So इनके country के जो members हैं, the members in this union, they don't require dollar or any other currency to settle their bilateral trade. It gets settled easily in their domestic currencies, respective domestic currencies. So this is important. Remember, Asian Clearing Union. Apart from that, RBI has announced that now onwards, with Maldives also, they are bringing this mechanism in force. Then SEBI has signed an MOU with DigiLocker, जो आपका DigiLocker है, उसके साथ sign किया है to address the issue of unclaimed financial assets. Right now, unclaimed financial assets का issue is rising very much. So SEBI ने sign किया है DigiLocker के साथ this MOU. Why and how it would work? It would enable investors to store and access information on their Demat and mutual fund holdings through DigiLocker. So basically, DigiLocker के through up to now you could access your documents, right, anywhere, and that is approved, authorized, so it is acceptable everywhere. Now, via DigiLocker, the investors can also access their demat accounts, right? So when you can access demat accounts, it is easy to claim, it is easy to track all these unclaimed assets or deposits. So it is significant. Remember, SEBI ने किसके साथ? DigiLocker के साथ साइन किया है. Then next one is net FDI. So recent RBI data has said net FDI has declined to $1.4 billion in April to January 25 period for India. And important trends, if you see, repatriation or disinvestment. Repatriation क्या होता है? When you invest back or when you send back the investment. आपने कुछ भी इन्वेस्टमेंट किया था उसको वापस रिटर्न करना. So repatriation has increased to $46.1 billion, right? And what is important for you from here, from where the questions can be asked, first thing, which are the top sectors receiving FDI in India? Remember, manufacturing. Manufacturing is the top sector. Manufacturing, highest equity inflows it has witnessed, followed by financial services, electricity and energy, and communication services. So please remember this thing, it is important. Manufacturing is receiving maximum. Also, another important question which can be framed from this is major FDI sources. So over 75% we are having from Singapore. So basically maximum FDI in India is coming from which country? Maximum FDI in India is coming from Singapore. Second, Mauritius, third US, fourth UAE, and fifth is Netherlands. So remember this thing, maximum FDI is coming from Singapore. Also, India's rank in terms of greenfield FDI projects, so it is second globally. We have second rank globally in terms of greenfield FDI projects. Also, top FDI sectors globally, if you see, अभी तो हमने इंडिया की बात की, global level पे top FDI sectors are renewables, communications, semiconductors, and metals. The next news says RBI's outstanding net short position in the forward book rose further to $77.5 billion. That means RBI की अभी जो position है in the forward market क्या होता है, forward book क्या होती है, which records all these transactions, you know, like currency swap, which happens at a predetermined price in future, जो future में होना है, but the price is predetermined. So जितने भी आपके forward contracts हैं, RBI has a net short position, remember. Net short position. So basically what a net short position means, for all those who don't know about the net short position, it means that the RBI has more obligations to sell the foreign currency than it has to buy, right? Because whenever we talk about a portfolio having a net short position, it is considered net short when the total value of its short positions exceed the total value of its long position. So basically, you will be selling, as the central bank, you will be selling more of foreign currency than you have to buy. This is the entire news. Remember, it can be important. So RBI has a net short position. It will be selling more of the foreign currency than what it has to buy in the forward book. All the contracts which are to be settled in future at a predetermined price. The next one is India's remittances. Regarding remittances, so India's remittances have more than doubled from $55.6 billion in 2010-11 to $18.7 billion in 23-24. So हमारा जो remittances हैं they have doubled and source country wise share जो है इंडिया का maximum remittances कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? US. This is again important question, remember. Maximum remittances we are receiving are from US, second UAE, third UK and then Saudi Arabia and Singapore. So सिंगापुर FDI में टॉप पे है और रेमिटेंसेज में US है. स्टेट वाइज अगर हम देखें तो मैक्सिमम रेमिटेंसेज आर बीइंग रिसीव्ड बाय महाराष्ट्र, देन केरला, देन तमिलनाडु, तेलंगाना एंड कर्नाटका. सो स्टेट्स में महाराष्ट्र हैज टॉप्ड. Next one is SEBI recently has reduced the minimum investment amount for zero coupon, zero principal instruments on social stock exchange from 10,000 to rupees 1,000. This is again going to be very important. Write it down separately because social stock exchange से question भी आया हुआ है recently, right? So remember, SEBI ने इस amount को reduce किया है. What is zero coupon, zero principal instrument? Zero coupon, zero principal means no interest, no principal. तो यहाँ पे profit motive नहीं है. So basically these instruments are used for donations. So it is not kind of a loan which you raise via these instruments. This is kind of a donation given to the social stock exchange entities like NGOs, not for profit entities. Social stock exchange हमने current affairs में discuss किया था, right? On which your entities like not for profit entities can on board, है ना? So social stock exchange में ऐसी जो entities हैं उनके लिए minimum investment amount earlier 10,000 था, but now it is 1,000. So facilitating more such entities to onboard the exchange. This is significant. 10,000 से 1,000. More participation will be there. Then moving on to banking news, you have UK-based firm Prudential will be establishing a standalone health insurance company in a joint venture with Sundari Investments. Remember, so standalone इंश्योरेंस कंपनी क्या होती है? स्टैंडअलोन इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज होती हैं, दे आर से स्टैंडअलोन हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस की बात कर रहे हैं, सो दे आर जस्ट प्रोवाइडिंग यू हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट्स, राइट? अनलाइक अदर इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज विच जनरली प्रोवाइड वाइड रेंज ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम दी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस. तो ये सिर्फ हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्रोवाइड करेंगी. एज ऑफ नाउ यू कैन रिमेंबर इंडिया हैज 7 स्टैंडअलोन हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज. इंडिया हैज 7 स्टैंडअलोन हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी. दीज आर दी नेम्स: स्टार हेल्थ, नीवा बुपा, केयर हेल्थ, आदित्य बिरला, मणिपाल सिग्ना, नारायणा हेल्थ एंड गैलेक्सी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस. Then next one is Digital Lenders Association of India, which is a deemed SRO, self-regulatory organization, is rebranding itself as Unified Fintech Forum. Remember this also, it is important. So the Digital Lenders Association of India has rebranded itself as Unified Fintech Forum. Next one is NPCI is partnering with Singapore-based firm HitPay. So NPCI is partnering with HitPay to expand the acceptance of UPI in Southeast Asian countries. Southeast Asian countries में expand करने के लिए UPI की reach, it is partnering with HitPay. Okay, and this is going to be the second major partnership by NPCI in Singapore after launching UPI Pay Now linkage. Next one says IndusInd Bank recently has raised additional 2,750 crore rupees by issuing certificate of deposits. Certificate of deposits, you all know, is a money market instrument, right? Issued by banks, etc. So IndusInd Bank ने raise किया है this much amount, 2,750 crores by issuing certificate of deposits. Then PhonePe Wealth recently has launched CRISP. What is CRISP? CRISP is consistency, risk and investment style of portfolio, which is kind of a digital tool which will be helping investors in having well-informed decisions in selecting mutual funds. So this CRISP will help all the investors in selecting their, in deciding their investments, selecting the mutual fund. So it is kind of a digital tool. Remember CRISP, consistency, risk, investment style of the portfolio, launched by PhonePe Wealth. Then you have, according to the Fitch latest global economic outlook report, Indian economy is growing at 6.5% in financial year 26. Next one says the OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, has reduced India's growth forecast for financial year 26 to 6.4% from the earlier estimate of 6.9%. OECD ka projection is also important. So you can remember this, you must remember this. It has been reduced to 6.4%. That's it about the banking finance important news. Lot of important news were there today which we have discussed. Now let's discuss about the questions. Just a second. First question in front of you. Government has recently approved an incentive scheme for the promotion of low value Bhim UPI transactions. You have to tell me the incentive at the rate of 0.15% per transaction will be provided for transactions up to how many rupees? Very good. So the correct option here is rupees 2000. Remember, right? Rupees 2000. Option B is the right answer. Yes, rupees 2000 is the correct answer here. Then next question. RBI recently has informed that bilateral trade transactions of India with which of the following countries will now be settled in the domestic currencies of the respective countries. Which of the following is there? Yeah, so it is Maldives, option C, right? Option C, Maldives is the correct option. As per the latest RBI data, which country is the major source of FDI for India? Remember, FDI source, not the source of remittances. Which country is sending largest FDI to India? Yeah, so correct, that is Singapore. Option A is the right one here. Singapore is the right answer. And in remittances, the country from where we are receiving maximum remittances is US. Here it is Singapore. The next one is SEBI recently has reduced minimum investment amount for zero coupon, zero principal instruments on the social stock exchanges from 10,000 to how much? It has been reduced from 10,000 to 1,000, right? Option C is the right answer, from 10,000 to 1,000. So that is correct. The next one is National Payments Corporation of India is partnering with which of the following firms to boost up UPI payment system in Southeast Asian countries? Which of the following firm it is partnering with? Yeah, so D is the right option here. It is HitPay. HitPay is the correct option. Then this is your learning exercise for today. What is India's rank in greenfield FDI projects as per the latest RBI data? So greenfield projects में India की rank क्या है? Greenfield FDI में according to latest RBI data, you will be telling me in the comment section. Then the question which I gave in the last class was, which of the following has announced Frontier Seed Pacific program? Yeah, so Frontier Seed Pacific program has been announced by our Asian Development Bank. You all have provided me the correct answer. Mahesh, then Harshal Gupta, Sham Sundar, Girish Pradhan, Raj Shekhar, all of you. You have provided the right answer. That's quite praiseworthy. So Asian Development Bank, remember, in which they have identified 2 companies also where they will be supporting these startups, right? So that's it for today's session. Lot of important news we have discussed today. Please revise them carefully. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.